I'm coming around to getting to a serious question that the member for Yalupangi has asked. Deserves a fair, correct, and serious reply. It is our assessment that a program that is meant to unbundle rural PNG as well as modernizing urban is abused by a government that is meant to deliver this. There's an assessment on the floor of this House that Works Department is not working very well. And Works Department is served by a longest serving secretary of this department that the former administration appointed, has run the system for so long. We came in like a good government. We maintained the Department of Health to remain and run. By the way, the Department Head is from his own electorate. Mr. Acting Speaker, number one, Trupla Tok Tok, to connect PNC, important program, lo country, me one bell display. Because for so long we have left many of our remote parts of our country unconnected. When I talk about remote part of the country, I mean Telefomin, not because the Minister of Works is from Telefomin, but they've been out of link with our country for so long. I mean places like Kabum, Minyama. There was a time in 2020, Governor Havata, I asked Governor Havata, then Minister for Works, and Secretary for Works. By the way, Secretary for Works, who is continuing in this department, was an appointee under the O'Neill administration.
By the governor yesterday, if you go and check the answer, it was directed to the minister. That is why it's a supplementary question, but I'm quite happy to ask the Prime Minister. Prime Minister has already taken note of what I've said, so I'll just continue if that's okay with the chair. And
I will allow you to continue.
And if the minister wants to answer or the Prime Minister wants to answer, it doesn't matter. You are You sit down, Isi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this company, Ipuent, is owned and controlled by an associate of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister can either confirm or deny that. But we ask that they table all the contract documents and the amounts of money that has been paid to this particular company. That company includes Ipuent and Taripori Development Corporation, Oceanic, and Clean Green Energy, Mr. Speaker. Why I ask these questions are that because we believe that some of the procurement processes have been abused. Many of the contracts that are issued are deliberately under 10 million kina and paid on many occasions below that amount to avoid tender processing and the procurement requirements by the NPC law. So we need visibility on that, Mr. Speaker, and the Prime Minister needs to disclose his relationship with the owners of the company and what is his role in those companies, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Works is a company that has got contracts from this particular program called Tumla Construction, owned by a staff, his former staff, Mr. Speaker. Again, it has received tens of millions of kina. I'm quite happy to name the name, but out of respect for the gentleman, I am not. But, Mr. Speaker, the company is called Tumla Construction. Now, those contracts, again, issued below 10 million kina deliberately to avoid procurement process. Mr. Speaker, we've also received that there was 18 soldiers out of this program. 18 soldiers received 191,000 kina, 613 toya per person per soldier. What are these payments for? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, there's been IACAS, many IACAS, but one in particular has been receiving 101,000 kina per month. Again, I asked the Minister, what is this for? Mr. Speaker, this is Connect PNG program. Why are we spending 785,209 kina to planting flowers at your head office? Planting flowers at your head office, Mr. Speaker. The other question, Mr. Speaker, is that Medivac was paid to Pacific International Hospital for 220,700 kina. For yourself, Minister. Is that for yourself to Gold Coast or to Australia? How does that connect to Connect PNG program? Mr. Speaker. Further, Mr. Speaker, there's 170,000 kina paid to a school fee in United Kingdom for an individual. How does that connect to Connect PNG program, Mr. Speaker? And lastly, Mr. Speaker, 152,800 kina was paid to Sunday Bulletin. What is that for? How does that connect to Connect PNG program? Mr. Speaker, why we are asking that question is that the program itself is good, except that money is being spent on things that we don't know about. Mr. Speaker, there is abuse of trust and confidence of the people of this country. Mr. Speaker, I simply ask the Minister to answer these questions.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister or the Minister to answer these questions truthfully and factually with the records that they have, Mr. Speaker. Not just shallow answers that will just water down this particular issue. This is a very big issue, 1.9 billion plus has been already spent. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, there are few contracts that are glaring, Mr. Speaker. Glaring because it has been given to associates of the Prime Minister and, of course, and your associates, Mr. Minister. Can you clearly define how much money has been paid, as I've tabled some of the documents already, but to Ipuen's Constructions? How much money has been paid to Tari Pori Development Corporation? How much money has it been paid to Oceanic Constructions? That has been seen publicly, photographed and videoed, handing out checks to contractors directly. For the first time, a Minister of State doing this in this country. This is not a simple matter, Speaker. Let me say this. These are not personal monies. These are public money. Money that belongs to the people of Papua New Guinea. They need accountability and transparency. When, of course, governments make decisions and carry out these programs, Mr. Speaker, 1.9 billion kina has been spent on a program, as I said, is worth billions of kina, including contracts that are awarded up to 3.45 million kina. Contracts already awarded. And these are ongoing programs, and we will be very interested to know the Minister's statement must include the list of contracts that he has awarded. And Mr. Speaker, let me just highlight a few. Mr. Speaker, over the last 30 months, Mr. Speaker, I have received a copy of the IFMS records from Finance, which say that over the last 30 months, this program has spent $1.933364 billion kina, sorry, Mr. Speaker. Almost 2 billion kina has been spent so far. I have a list of checks here, check numbers, contract numbers, vouchers that has been paid to different companies under this program, Mr. Speaker, which the Governor for Southern Islands asked the good Minister for Works. Mr. Speaker, as you know, in recent times I have issued a public statement on this particular program, stating that we do support the program and its intentions. But, Mr. Speaker, the only issue is about the spending spree, the procurement process, and the manner in which this particular program is being managed by his department. And I have made those statements publicly, and the Minister has claimed that I was a liar. So today I want to seek leave of Parliament to present some documents that I've received from a whistleblower, a very brave public servant, who is giving me these documents that proves that there is what I've said is correct. So if that is okay, I will table it for the interest of public, and the Minister can take note of it and answer it while I will add my questions onto the questions that were asked by the Minister. Mr. Speaker, I want to table this with your permission.
Honorable Member for Yale Upanga, you may table your...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the series of questions that I want to ask the minister are as follows.